Essay paper was introduced in civil services examination on the recommendation of Kothari committee. This was introduced so as to test the candidate's depth in understanding, analytical ability, clarity of thought, and capacity to solve problems. This is challenging, especially under situation of pressure. One has to develop creative ideas and one must be able to articulate properly and put his arguments. Often this is make or break factor for success in civil services examination. It's very crucial. It's because this is for 250 marks. To this paper, there is no special preparation required. No one can claim expertise in the general essay paper. And this is not a test for one's capacity to remember some information. And this is not about narration of general knowledge. And this is more about analyzing various aspects around the given topic. This is liberal writing. And important is quality, not quantity. Clarity of thought is important rather than the complexity in thinking. There is no standard material for it. Individuals prepare to many subjects of general studies, so some knowledge develop with respect to various aspects of the life, and regularly people go through the newspapers, contemporary socio-economic issues. Out of that, individual can write something. Here are some instructions for your essay paper. Do some rough work. Make sure that you have sufficient understanding and material to write around the given essay. Take keywords of the topic and write synonyms to that keywords. And after it, connect all those keywords. Find some sense in it and find the assumption behind asking of that question by Service Commission. And then put dots around the each phrase or the word given in the essay. And then attempt to connect all those dots. While writing essay paper, question intensely, like what is it, why is it, when is it, how is it, where is it, and find answers to that. Then if you are able to get some information out of the history, economy, polity, current affairs, and human dynamics, social dynamics, ethics paper, then you just connect all that knowledge to this particular and choose such type of essay topics. Instead of choosing purely technical and literary essays, it is better to select the socio-economic issues. Then you will be able to analyze. It is because you have anyway prepared for the general studies paper. Give good introduction because that conveys what you intended to write on that topic. And this should arouse interest and curiosity in the reader. Give equal weightage to the content and context. Content without context is meaningless. Keep close to the topic. There should not be any deviation. If they give you democracy myth or reality to that essay, what is democracy? For that, write about monarchy and over a period of time how these monarchic systems were dethroned by people and how democratic systems have emerged and what is the core spirit of democracy, then myth aspect of the democracy, then reality aspect of the democracy, and finally improvements that are needed so as to find it more real, then make a prospective conclusion on that. Arrange ideas in order. Don't divert into areas which are unrelated to what is being asked, and various aspects are to be properly articulated. You have to deduce and follow deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning while answering this particular essay paper. Focus on analysis. For example, if they ask you to write on moratorium is to be declared on acquisition of lands of the tribals, then you have to think about the tribal land and importance of land to the tribal, what kind of traumatic consequences the tribal will find when the tribal land is acquired by the government, and if they are displaced under the name of economic growth and for the sake of implementing certain growth projects, what will be the consequence. And here you have to talk about universalism of life claims, importance of sustainable development, and constitutional values. These are all to be mentioned. And finally, if under the name of economic growth, if they are to be displaced, there is supposed to be human rehabilitation process, and that you can mention. So proper rehabilitation of the tribals and villagers is required before they are being displaced from their native lands. And for that, rehabilitation and resettlement, corresponding law, legal provisions, and proper process of rehabilitation of the displaced people is to be mentioned while writing this. And finally, you write a prospective conclusion. While writing answers, be optimistic, progressive, balanced, and prospective. You can be politically wrong, but should not be socially incorrect, because public opinion is very, very important, because you are going to serve civilians. So civilian viewpoint or point of view of the civilian is to be considered by you, and opinion of the majority has to be considered, because we are living in a democratic system. This is not about personal choices that is in our domains. So there is a individual domain in which when you are making a decision, the consequence of that decision will affect you. But in public life, whatever decision you take, that is going to affect the public. And that's why while writing answers, you have to consider the opinion of the public. When our opinion is kept aside, then we will be able to appreciate the opinion of the majority. And this is the democratic value which is expected to be found with the civil services. You can quote examples from newspapers and the news telecasted in TV channels. And you can mention quotes if you are able to recollect them completely. Start at realism and end at optimism, as hope for bright future is the driver of the life. Take holistic and integrated approach, that is interdisciplinary approach. For example, after introduction of iron technology, formal agricultural activity has come into existence, and this agricultural activity has caused a surplus. That surplus has supported growth of people, and with the increase of population, there was a social complexity. Social complexity necessitated the centralized authority systems, and in that way, articulation and flow has to go. Another example, after introduction of iron technology, there was surplus, and with that, there was a settled life. So, iron technology was responsible for settled life around the agricultural fields. After introduction of iron technology, man started imputing his labor for tilling of the land. Then women turned dependent on man. Then man started exploiting women as she is dependent on him. And this was responsible for many social evils like polygyny, sati, no widow remarriage, child marriages. These all have developed as consequence to this. And like this, one aspect is to be articulated to the other so that a kind of logical deduction is possible. Every issue has many dimensions. Take into consideration all the dimensions possible around the given topic. Historical factors, economic factors, political factors, social factors, psychological factors, and international policies, treaties, they may be mentioned. Practice is essential. This is general essay. Out of your configuration you are going to write. It's not out of preparation. Civil services examination is to test the candidate's personality and configuration. So here also there will be reflection of your personality to the service commission. So get configured, taking in the knowledge necessary so as to make a decision and to implement the decisions that the government takes, considering the value of that particular decision as decision representing aspirations of the public. Then you will be more embracing, and you are going to be a configuration where your identity is reducing and community identity is increasing. One need not use flowery language, as transparency is expected in public servants, in public life. Avoid too much technical jargon. Use simple language. Your language should be simple, analytical, powerful, and creative. Conclusion is valuable. Conclusion should express essence of your essay. And this is final chance to you to convince the reader. Finally, while writing your essay, you can consider 5 key elements. They are introduction, body, flow, that is articulation. That articulation means ensure smooth transition between different ideas. Balance is about mentioning various perspectives and harmonizing all them to arrive at a decision. End with optimistic and visionary idea. Follow idea framework. I is introduction. D is dimensions. Multiple dimensions around the topic are to be mentioned. E is giving of example as an evidence. And A is address the counter arguments to demonstrate your understanding and analytical ability. Follow 4I approach. Information, interpretation, integrity, and intensity. Information is every topic is with some information around it. And interpretation, this should be progressive and prospective. Then another I is intensity. Intensity means right in precision. Integrity, your interest, social interest, and existential interest are to be aligned.